22 separate shooting incidents when I was put on trial. He says, what you just say to me? He says, he knew he was going to get wrong off us. He went, I just put the pliers on his teeth and it crumbled. I went, no. Like that, no. The next thing I know, Glover just stood up and pulled the handbrake on. We're doing about 60 miles an hour. And he just leant over, because it was sat behind the driver. And he just pulled the handbrake on. He shooted, right, we've got help, they've got guns. And pulled the handbrake on. And we went into a spin. On the motorway, when it come to a stop, we're pointing the wrong fucking way, pointing up, you know what I mean? And the screw in front of us went like that with the key. And this one went, and I went, go on then. Intelligence people are waiting, taking photos of me, getting on the boat. Proper, I'm putting some #1 wanted fucking criminal. I'm fucking photographing them. And we're not leaving that place till the next fucking day. Next thing I know, there was one fucking behind us. And there were fucking guns through the fucking window. Within seconds, it had us. Even not suspected something was going on with the cars. They were fucking on us like a ton of bricks. I admitted beating them up and that and doing what I'd done. I just said I wasn't present with a fucking torturing man, anything to do with it, man. I found out afterwards. I've passed a lie detector test proving this. 11.5 years. I got 9 years for the torture. Yep. 2.5 years for the escape. I had a fight with the oldest one in the town centre over blaming me for killing Freddie and Viv at the trial, because I was sat there listening and the cops have come to court to help them give evidence. As for the past 7 years, they've put one witness after another on YouTube accusing me of serious offences. Past 7 years. And the last witness I put on was Davy Glover, where they're changing the evidence in Viv's murder and they're getting him to say that he got the murder details off me, that he confessed to the police. So that was the final straw. They nicked us. And the person who I was meeting, obviously I didn't get to meet him. I've been arrested by Rand's partner. So Berryman got the plane's manifesto for that trip where I got arrested at that end, when his partner was travelling on the plane. And head of the customs who was in charge of this operation was sat in seat 52, and his partner, who I'm waiting to meet at that end, was sat in seat 53, so they travelled together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Madness. And so you've ended up getting nicked by this Interpol, armed arrest, and then you've ended up getting remanded, I'm guessing, to await extradition?
Yeah.
And so where did you get remanded to? Can you remember which the prison was called?
Caravan Shell first, doing on the Costa del Sol. That's when they branded us.
So, who branded you a rapist? Where did this come from then?
Come over the fucking radio. It was in the fucking newspapers. So, they've remanded us in custody. And back in them days, if they got an English fucking gangster locked up, it made it like big news over there.
Yeah.
So they made me arrest, big news. Saying I was some fucking British gangster, but I was in the media all week. But they didn't say what for, because they weren't sure what for. So after a week they found out what for, and they've put in the paper what I'm locked up for. It says after that got everybody's attention, a week's hype, you know what I mean? Yeah. Said he's a rapist who kidnaps his victims, and when he's finished with them, he pulls their teeth out with pliers.
Fucking hell.
So this is coming out on the radios too, on the hour, every fucking hour on the news, in the prison as well. It's in the English and the Spanish speaking newspapers, listen. So then I get a visit of Paul and my brother and Garside, and they said, fucking it's all over that you're a rapist. I want to fucking know that, listen. They said it fucking started with Radio Gibraltar, and all the rest of them have picked up from there. So I says, fucking get along there now and put it fucking right. I'm telling you, just fucking get it done. So they steamed along to Radio Gibraltar from the prison, pushed our way in, and the bloke was on the radio station. We just muscled our way in and got a hold of him when he's on the air. No, when they were putting it out that I was a rapist, it was on the news every hour, on the hour. This is just some fucking bloke on his show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they've made him get on there and say he's not a rapist, and they did, and he done it. I just want to tell you, because he was under threat with them to couldn't stand behind him, you know what I mean? Yeah. In the radio station. But it didn't do any good, do you know what I mean? Because all the Spanish ones and the ones along the Costa del Sol had picked up on it, and the newspapers, and this was just him once on a show.
Of course, so were you getting a hard time in prison then?
Of course, what rapist doesn't?
Yeah. Were you fighting and stuff in there?
Of course, 2 and 3 at a time sometimes.
Okay, no.
Fucking naughty, man. They sent us up to Madrid.
Yeah, so you got moved around a couple of prisons before you got sent back then.
Pardon?
Were you fighting the extradition, were you?
Oh, I appealed and I appealed and I appealed and I appealed till I couldn't appeal anymore. And that's what I thought, this is why they've done it, to make me give up my extradition. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've nicked Glover at that end.
Of course.
I thought they want me back to put me on trial. I thought they're not getting this. So I appealed and appealed. I was nearly a year, 10 months I think I was there.
Okay.
And they just kept Glover's case back, they did, till I got back. And then when I did get back, I wanted Glover to be dealt with before I come back. And I was hoping that he would be dealt with before I got back, so I could just come back and say, yeah, I wasn't even fucking there. Yeah. I didn't do it. We would drop anybody in it, because I basically trying to trial on my own. Yeah. Everybody will be dealt with, I thought. That was my plans, and I thought that's why they've nonced us off in the media, to make us, get us a hard time to...
Pressure to come back.
I had pressure and I wouldn't do it. I fought it tooth and fucking nail, right to the last day. And then took it straight to you know, when they brought Foreman back, when they took him right to the plane steps, done that with me. Got the army, delivered us right to the plane steps, took us up, got us on the plane, got to take the cuffs off you before the plane takes off in case the plane crashes. So the flying club class, the crime squad, these 4 guns from Havana, club class. So I'm not squad with club class, all your drinks is free. So they've took me fucking cuffs off, and these cunts know me, these busies, I've battered that many of them over the years, right? I've got a terrible reputation for fighting with the cunts, right? Especially these cunts. And they know us personally that way, do you know what I mean? And I'm not taking these shit off in any years. And they've had that out with me all my life, right? So on the fucking plane, they've took the thing off, and it's took off. And the little puffy waiters, Stuart, anyone want a drink? And I went, yeah, double Bacardi and Coke. And the busies went, facing us went, oh, you can't have a drink. I went, what are you fucking on about? I can't have a drink. You're not getting a drink on yous? Because the two gappers were busy getting a drink off the thing on yous. I says, listen, do you want me to fucking start on, we've took off now, you see. I says, do you want me to fucking, when club class and all, I went, do you want me to fucking start on this fucking plane, do you? And he looked at us, he went, give me a drink. And every 10 minutes, before we got back, I was hey with a steward. Yeah. I was fucking steaming. Time I reached Gatwick, drunk. Had help us doing the stairs. I did.
And where did you get moved from there then? Obviously, with the escape, did you get moved to a Cat A after the escape from?
So we flew from Gatwick up to Newcastle. The army waiting for us there, the British Army, to escort us to the town centre courts and prison cells. And then I got carried from that moment after I got remanded on escorts to Liverpool the next day. Remanded us to Walton Block. I don't know if you've been Walton Block here. It's a fucking rough block, you know what I mean? There's no place to do your remand, you know, when you wait and get up on fucking trial, is it? But they held us doing that for 3 or 4 months, 5 months in the block. And
so was it just a sort of, only a few of you in that block then?
Aye, I was next door to the kid who shot Hungy. And he come in the same day as me, him who killed them lassies, Howard Hughes. Yeah. I had the screws torture him, keep him awake for days.
Good.
So I thought they'd just break him. But when I first arrived at Walton, with the armed escorts and that. All the inmates were shooting, yeah, you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it. Listen, it's me getting took into the fucking block cells. The 4 hours I was used. So that was when I got remanded that day. They were waiting for him coming in.
Were you having to wear special uniform in there because you'd escaped before? You know this.
Stripes, patches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And so, obviously, you took the trial. You took it to trial then, the kidnap and torture case then.
Yeah, of course. I didn't fucking do it.
How long was the trial then for this? And you're obviously getting taken from Liverpool, were you, to Newcastle?
No, they moved us to Durham SSU for the trial.
Yeah.
So I just had to go backwards and forwards to Durham daily. 6.5 weeks trial.
And obviously one day you've ended up going crazy in court, haven't you? Or spitting on someone, or...
So the prosecutor.
Yeah, so talk to us about what happened there then. Obviously you're not liking what you're hearing.
He mentioned my brother dying, and he just went overboard.
And so in what context did he mention him then?
He says, I've got the transcript of it on this computer here if you want it.
Really
actually
I'll get it to come out as it comes with the transcript up. Wow.
He says to us, your brother died in a shooting incident in the Green Man public house, didn't he? I says, Green Tree public house, and there was an accident. And he turned around and he looked us right in the face. He was only 4 feet from us. He went, didn't he get his brains blown out? I fucking swilled the cunt with a fucking straight there and then, spontaneously. Big fat useless cunt. Swilled him with a jug of water. Barristers and prosecutors, everybody else who was prosecuting me, even the defendant's barrister stood up and said, pointed at him, said that was a disgrace. Pointing at him, not at me.
Yeah.
That was a disgrace. While he was still wiping the fucking water off and he's wig in his fucking hand, wiping himself doing, while I'm getting dragged out. And the judge replied to the prosecutor at Swell, he went, well, could I hit you with a mic? Yeah.
The jury were there also witnesses as well, did they?
Yeah.
And so do you think that he was kind of reaching at it because the trial was going your way? Were you doing well during the trial up until that point, and he was trying to get a reaction from you? And
I don't know, but got the reaction all right.
But did you feel like obviously they'd seen?
One of the jurors was like this, in shock, man. She didn't come back to court, in fact.
That's what I'm trying
After
to say.
that, she went to the doctors and got a sick note, she did.
And so did you think the trial was fucked at that point? Excuse my French.
Listen, man, in my court, when I'm standing giving evidence, the judge doors out and they stand there with machine guns. There's a cop standing next to us, but he's not in uniform, he's got a gun. He leant over and let his gun fall in front of the jury to let the people know. Armed cops standing in the middle of the fucking trial, man.
Just
in the middle of the court, man, stand there.
And do you think, 'cause obviously they're not meant to be looking at who you are or anything like this, or
they were terrified, man.
They knew exactly who you were. They'd obviously seen you had been one of the most wanted men in Britain leading up into the prior to that case, hadn't you? Brought back.
Aye, of course, aye. Of course,
so obviously there's a lot of it's so hard for them to get a jury where there's no prejudice on someone that's well known, isn't it? And so obviously, like you said, with the outburst, you were fighting a losing battle, weren't you?
Well, it was a bit more than that, but I wasn't getting through that court for sure.
And so it led up to eventually you've ended up...
I admitted beating him up in that and doing what I'd done. I just said I wasn't present with his fucking torturing, man, anything to do with it, man. I found out afterwards. I've passed a lie detector test proving this.
Yeah.
Recently.
No,
so what's happened since I've passed the lie detector test proving it, and the newspaper has done an article on it.
Yeah.
Glover has went to the same newspaper article, newspaper office, and said, all right then, he wasn't there. But he told me to do it. So he's just moving the goalposts, but still fucking lying.
Yeah.
What he doesn't realise is, I've also covered by the lie detector test that I didn't tell him to do it either.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? But he doesn't know that.
Yeah, good.
But I'm just saying, because he knew I'd been covered with lie detector tests, he's moved the goalposts and he's changing the story now, saying I wasn't there, but I told him to do it.
Obviously, it's inevitable. Eventually, you've been found guilty after 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how long was it before the sentencing? Was there like a break? Obviously, a couple week break, or was it just
sentence was straight away?
And so, talk to me about the day then and what you.
Well, by this point, the time I got found guilty, Glover had already confessed to me and my co-accused about ringing the police and telling them what day war was going on.
So this was while he was on the wing with you?
Well, what had happened was, no, not on the wing. He was getting kept separate. When we got put on trial, We were getting took to court in separate vehicles, armed response, helicopters, everything. But he was in a separate vehicle with a bulletproof jacket on.
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to be going to have him shot. Do you know, it was ridiculous. And he was kept in a separate cell when we got to court. But they used to put us three in the next cell, right next door to him. This is in the ladies' part of the ladies' cells that's not getting used, you know, because we're high risk or something. So they've got three in one cell, Glover in the next cell, every time the lock walk.
Did you know he'd gone wrong at that point then?
Of course, but
yes.
not as wrong. I found out some more. All we knew was he'd made a statement confessing to this crime, naming fucking me, etc. We knew that at that point. He's getting kept separate. He's went Supergrass. And as we got to court, we're getting served papers then, letting him know he's confessed to murdering, not confessed to murdering Viv, he's given information on Viv's murder, he's given information on this, he's given information on that. I'll show you the paperwork.
Yep.
I've got tons of paperwork on that computer from the case. So, and we find out at that point, he's given them information about Viv's murder. Not that he's admitted doing it, that he's given information. This is in the paperwork that they're serving on me. So, well, now he's went. So when I'm in this next cell room, I started to talk to him. You know, after the dinner, when the schools were gone,
of course,
I started talking to him through the door, because I'm his uncle. And I've known him since he was a kid.
Yeah.
He's two co-accused, one with and one's his best mate, and one's his blood uncle. I'm just like, with his auntie, you know what I mean? Uncle.
In-law.
In-law uncle. One's his blood uncle, who I'm locked up with. So I talked him into, I told him we're gonna get chucked anyway, with this fence is gonna collapse, this case. Because I genuinely thought it was gonna collapse. Because I had Bobby Stokewell come to give evidence for us, the man who was shot, old man, and in the head. He's come to give evidence in my trial, and I'm thinking this is gonna collapse the whole case with the evidence Bobby's gonna give. So I'm telling Glover, this case is gonna collapse, blah blah blah, and I got his trust back. I told him he didn't have to do it. Do you know what I mean? And he probably didn't want to have to do it. He's just trying to get out of jail, you know what I mean? And he has another way out. So he trusted us. And out the schools, when other schools from over the years, I've said to the schools, just put him back in your man, it'll save time and money, and we're getting on all right with him anyway. And the schools let him come in over. We had him for 2 days.
You didn't torture him?
Pardon?
You torture him?
No, I just played him and found out what was going on. And
well, you got him so sweet that he ended up confessing to calling up the
not confessing, he was running talking to me all the time. Sometimes he was talking to his mate, sometimes he was talking to his uncle, but we're all at a table, we're having our meals together, and obviously we're talking about the fucking case and what's happened. And it's on me. I'm trying to keep a level fucking head, and find out as much as I fucking can out of him while I've got him. That was my fucking job. And just listen to everything, because I'm on fucking trial for my life here. And all he's saying was, trust me. He was kind of like that, not telling me some things at first.
Yeah.
And then he's just letting this little things who he was. But the top and bottom of it was, he let one know he confessed to murdering Viv. Told with that. Told with details that he'd give them when he confessed. This is not in the paperwork though.
And
do you know what I mean?
Do you believe he did kill Viv?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't at the time, I wasn't sure at the time, but I did know for sure.
And he did this not on his behalf. You believe he was paid to do that for someone else, or?
Oh, Glover.
Yeah.
You're not read his murder confession. I've got it there. Okay, it.
So what?
He says he done it with the enemy. He says it's him and Michael and Stephen. No, him and Michael went looking for Viv. This is 2 weeks after I've bumped into Viv and tell Viv to hide them out the club.
Yeah.
And he's fucking chinned him, he has. And they're on the fucking gear. So they went looking for him, run the pubs where he fucking drinks, and they found him somehow. And he says they broke his window of his car and set the alarm off. And when he's come out to sort the alarm out, Glover says he was driving. Glover says the other one done the shooting. That's a bit I didn't believe, because I just believe in half anything it would have been that one doing the driving and you doing the fucking shooting. Do you know what I mean? But Glover shot tons of fucking people he has. But anyway, he says it was him driving the car.
Yeah.
And the other one done the shooting who shot him. He says, and then they've driven away and getting picked up off 2 of the other members of the Winter Hill gang.
Yeah. So did he make this confession leading up prior to the sentencing while you lot were all on remand during your case going on? When did
He'd done this when I was in Spain, waiting to be extradited.
Oh, so he'd already done this.
He'd done this before they got us back.
Jeez, you're fighting losing battle with people like this on your side.
He's done more than that. He's done a hell of a lot more than that. I'll tell you. I'll show you the paperwork.
I can imagine it sounds poisonous.
Fucking proper went. Hey man, tell some porkies though, which I'm pleased about, because once I start telling lies, it discredits everything else they fucking say.
100%.
He even tried to blame. He set us up. He set us up for that shoot. You know when I got nicked for the Happy shooting.
Yep.
He set that whole fucking incident up. He did. He went and shot the old man's caravan at the gypsy site deliberately, when no one told him to do it, deliberately to cause that incident. So this is, but listen, and what he done, and it did cause the incident. What happened at the Happy House, it did do it, so it worked. But this is what happened. Next day, he ends up at the police station because he's working for the cops, and he says to them, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, gives them information on what's going on, and he tells them where the guns are hidden. That's been used on the shooting at the Happy House. I've got the paperwork that I'll show you. This is what, no, he's caused this incident, right? He has caused this incident, right? But listen to this. Sometime later, when he's given all the information, when I'm waiting to be extradited, he tries to blame other people for the shooting of that caravan.
Yeah.
Blames Brian Cockrell and Speedy. Now, as far as I'm aware, it had nothing to do with Brian Cockrell or Speedy. It did have something to do with 2 of us, but not them 2. And Glover's went and shifted. He's not saying he's done it. He's saying they've done it in information. Like Bangman done with me with the fucking heroin. Glover's been doing the same with the intelligence. For sure.
Crazy.
So
it's crazy, obviously, just real quickly, obviously, it's just so clear.
it just comes all over this fucking case.
But the criminal world, just such a poisonous place, just full of such
Oh,
like,
hey man, you didn't come across many people like fucking Glover.
Yeah, no, he sounds like he was...
The worst you could come across.
Yeah.
They've had him where they want him, and they've knew he's a bad 'un, and the cops are bad 'uns. Cops are the same though, who's handling him. Been bad 'uns our entire fucking life,
Yeah,
trust me.
they must have had...
Listen, I know these cops personally, and they've fitted people over their entire fucking life. They have. Every case they've touched. That's how bad they've been. They never get looked at for, do they? They planted fingerprints on me once, was on a gun case, with some guns in that. And I had to admit touching things in the bag, placing them fingerprints on the stuff, to get out the case, I had to admit I put the fingerprints on.
Fucking hell.
Fucking murder zone, when I got 6 not guilties. But...
So talk to me, going back to the torture court case, so eventually obviously you've been found guilty, and talk to us, what sentence did you get for this case?
11.5 years. I got 9 years for the torture,
Yep.
2.5 years for the escape.
So the 2.5 years, did it go...
That's what I was company before.
Yeah.
Glover's already told me that he phoned the cops 3 days before we escaped, so I've said to him after we've been found guilty, David, we've been found guilty now, plead not guilty to the escape. I'm fucking telling you, you've told him we're escaping, plead not guilty. He went right. So the judge asked for pleas for the escape, and we're both pleased not guilty. Not guilty. I'm got enough what he's fucking telling me. We get took to my fucking cells for an hour, took back up a court, and he's changed his fucking story. He's pleading guilty. So I had no choice but to plead guilty to the escape then.
So you got 2.5 for that as well, so 11.5 in total, so obviously must have been devastated on that day.
No, I was fucking pleased as punch, to be honest.
Did you think you were going to get a lot more, did you?
No, they were trying to ask him for 20-25 years for us.
And you were expecting to get something 20
I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. I just knew I'd caught the cops line a few times and showed the judge what's went on here. Even Aswell, the prosecutor, and that. 3 times, man, the judge slammed his book in temper. Like, Joe, no, I've got to balance the books at the end of this case, he would shout at them. The cops and the prosecutor. Balance the books at the end of this case. Every time we caught them lying and that. Because he's got to give me 25 years. 20-25 years, that's what he meant. And he couldn't do it.
Because they were...
Not just the way the case went.
Yeah. So you've got 11.5 years then, and obviously you've got taken straight to a Cat A. Did you get taken back to Durham?
Back to Durham.
And what is Durham? Is it a Cat B?
Special secure unit.
Is it a high security one, is it?
Yeah.
And so were you on the special wing, the ACAT wing within it, or was it all Cat A?
That's it's a prison within a prison, special security unit.
Yeah. And so and what did Glover get?
He got 10.5.
10.5. And did he get taken with you to the special unit?
No, he wasn't being kept there, he was being kept at Franklin.
Yeah, and so what was the unit like then that you were on in Durham then?
It was brand new really, so it was a new unit, you know, so...
And who was on that unit with you? Were there any sort of infamous villains or...?
I had Bob Mosley was downstairs, underneath us. I had John Kendall next door. John who escaped in a helicopter from Gorey. He painted as a painting, I've still got it.
Good painting?
Oh, he's a great painter.
Yeah.
He just copies Christmas cards and things like that, but he doesn't perfect.
Had a lot of time.
Aye.
I interviewed Stephen
As it happens, he was there when I had the fight with my enemy in prison, when I chinned him. He was the only person that was there when they had to carry him out the toilet, because I knocked him out.
Yeah.
I just walked out. But he was there, John Kendall, sat there as I was walking out, and he had to get carried out.
And so did you spend much time there? Did you get moved around the system then?
Oh yeah, all the time. When you double cat A, you get moved all around the system anyway. And plus I had a war gunning throughout, from start to finish, on 2 fronts. I was the only person in the prison who had a gang war gun. So I had a gang war gun with this crew. And I had a gang war gun with the Harrows.
Yeah.
But they got moved out the system after a couple of years, which left us just with these, fighting with these, which was a bit easier on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
so did you get hurt on any point? Seriously hurt during?
Not seriously hurt. At one point, I nearly got a spear through my fucking head. Doing a Whitemore contract. In prison, it's all contracts. Every fucking hit is a contract. Because all on drugs.
And it's so scary how cheap people would do this stuff for in jail, isn't it?
Because the junkies still do for fucking 20 quid.
Yeah.
When they actually get a bag of a gram of smack, when they get a gram of smack in prison,
Mate,
they'll chop that bag. Some of them will chop it into 50 bags, that gram. Some of them will chop it into 40 bags. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
you get you're getting 1/40th of a gram, and then it gets chopped to fuck. Do you know what I mean?
It's a dangerous place to be for sure.
But it's all heroin. Everybody's on heroin. We come to them one day in Longdown. We want a decent wing, not like a bad wing, non-heroin. We want a decent wing. And we counted everyone on the wing that we knew what was on heroin out of 100, and there was 70.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was on a decent wing.
Yeah, that's what I was so shocked about when I ended up going away. Just how many people are on heroin.
Do you know what caused it? Everybody says it's because of the drug tests and it's free. Listen, you know what genuinely caused it? I was in there, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what genuinely caused it?
Go on.
You could get as much weed as you wanted in at one time.
Yeah.
And everybody was on the weed, and that many were on the fucking gear.
Yeah.
And then that Howard and them changed the rules and the security and had big clampdowns on the visits, and you couldn't get any weed in then. The only thing they could get in then was what?
Yeah.
The heroin. And that's the only thing that was coming into prison, fucking, because it was so small, heroin, and they couldn't get the weed in, and everybody turned to fucking heroin.
Yeah.
For that reason, because they couldn't, because when you're in prison and you're not a lot of stress, you'll see, especially young kids, they'll take fucking anything, just by that door, just to get rid of that fucking stress or whatever they're going through, you know what I mean? And they used to have a joint, but there's nothing, no joints available in prison these days. The only thing available is fucking little pills and fucking smack.
Terrible, isn't it?
And it's a conveyor belt. They're turning junkies out. It's a conveyor belt and then putting them on the street. That's what it is. And now only turning the junkies when they're in there.
Terrible. People go in jail, shouldn't even be in jail, becoming out junkies, and then they're criminals for life. It's petty criminals for life. Terrible. And so while you were in prison at a certain point in your life, was it on this sentence you end up, have you lost your eye? So what happened to your eye, Paddy?
It's complicated with my eyelid, but I had a cataract. I got hit with a stone when I was little. So I've been blinded it all my life, but only a cataract covering my eye.
Yeah, so
you could never take a cataract off, but then they learned how to take them off, didn't they? So I paid private again and get my eye cataract took off in the Nuffield Hospital.
Yeah.
Then the police, the girl on the desk was caught one of the crime squad, and something was fucking said. from the cops, and I had to be moved out of there. So the same doctor who's treating us in there is getting us moved to the National Health Hospital. I'm still private though, but they're getting us out of the Nuffield.
No way.
I'm still paying for it myself, but they've moved us into a fucking National Health Hospital to do the operation now. Same doctor who worked in both hospitals, because one of us went in with the cops anyway. So then the operation went a little bit wrong, and they put like a little magnifying glass on underneath your pupil a day after they do this operation, so you can see all right. And it wasn't right anyway. They needed to re-operate to put it all right again. But what they were worried about was in case my eye hemorrhaged in between. So they said you've got to have this needle every 2 weeks to stop it hemorrhaging until we fix it. So in between, so I've been sent to jail 2 weeks later. So I've told them the script, so, and they took us to hospital straight away and seen the doctor, and he said, I've got to have you every 2 weeks. And they were taking us every 2 weeks for my injection till it's time to do the operation.
Fair enough. And
then all of a sudden they didn't take us. 2 weeks, and I've got an appointment. I went down to the medical staff door and I've got an appointment a day at the hospital. I need to get my injection. And he just sort of turned his fucking shoulder on us. Like the day sometimes he screws and I'll sort of do it or whatever, and next day still out. And I'm going to lose my rag now at the doctor's fucking thing daily. And I'm getting blanked. Sort of attitude. I knew I was getting something not right. So it's a week later they take us when my eyes hemorrhaged.
Yeah.
Fucking hemorrhaged. I've went down. And they take us the next day or 2 days later. So when I'm sat in the room waiting to get took to the hospital, there's a geezer in the room with us. So I get to talking to him. This isn't done in prison. I went, who are you? What do you call you? He went, my name's Philip Burke. I'm a security guard. I'm charged with armed robbery. I said, you're the enemy's co-accused, aren't you, to want to give evidence against him? Or he's going to give evidence against him. Yeah. For the Pritchard robbery, this is a security guard with that fucking robbery. They've got me in the same room as him. He hasn't rolled over yet. He hasn't identified anybody yet. He's going on his way there now. And they're showing him to me before they took him to the other ID. And after they've shown him to me, they've took him up to the ID, and they've picked the enemy out.
Yeah, why did they put him in with you?
I don't know.
It's crazy.
I've got my suspicions.
Yeah.
I think they were showing him to me to see ask if it was me. Because of what had went on with the other armed robberies.
Yeah, probably trying to lead them into, but...
No, just shoot us at the one you met. Because we were looking for the man that he'd met. And the man that he didn't meet fit in my description. Because I know the fella. And I know he looks like me a bit as it happens. Okay. So I can see why they've put me in, but they've kept us from my fucking appointment at hospital to fucking do it. That's a fucking problem. I'm not saying if they knew what they were up to, that it would hemorrhage. They've just done it as an operational move. Yep. But it's caused me fucking eye to fucking eye.
Yeah. And so, obviously, if you end up having to have the eye taken out...
No, I've still got my eye, but it's in a terrible mess.
Okay. And did you end up suing the system or anything like this?
I tried to when I come into prison, but they said I'd have lost all the paperwork.
Yeah. Well, no.
And that was the end of the matter.
Oh, good. And so, like I said, you've ended up getting moved around the system quite regularly while...
That's normal though for every double cat here.
Yeah, and so what, every 6 months or so?
Whatever, aye. But like I said, 2 gang wars gone. So they had to move us more regularly, you know, with incidents here and incidents there. Get it empty, because it was throughout the fucking years, you know what I mean? It was incident after fucking incident.
Yeah.
But when I had to move one away, they also had to move that one from that prison and that one and that, because they couldn't keep in the same prison. It was causing fucking havoc. It was.
And so, what was the worst prison that you saw on your travels, would you say?
With all of them. I think they're all fucking bad prisons, but with the dispersal, the maximum security ones, I would imagine Whitemore's about the roughest. It used to be Parkhurst until they closed it down. And then Whitemore took over the title.
Yes, dangerous places, these sort of jobs.
They're all dangerous.
Yeah.
Every last one of them's really dangerous.
Yeah. And so, out of the 11.5 years, you got how much of it did you serve? Is it a case you do half?
8, I think about 8.
8. So, was there a reason why you did so much? Did you end up getting in trouble while you were in jail
No.
at any points or anything like this?
Failed a couple of piss tests.
Yeah, so you were smoking for
For smoking down, just 2 or 3 times on a joint. That was it really, and a few fights.
Yeah.
And
did you work down the system? So did you eventually get released from a
did
DCAT or
that
CCAT?
fuck, they didn't even take us off the book.
So you got released from a Cat A, did you?
I had a Cat A review 2 weeks before I was due to be released. I was lying in solitary confinement. I had a Cat A review, and I thought, you bastards. I was thinking, you're taking us off the fucking book with 2 weeks left at day. You've got us 300 miles from home. I'm lying in solitary fucking confinement. I'm innocent. And I've never seen me fucking family for 12 months.
Yeah.
I thought you had taken us off me fucking thing 2 weeks ago, you bastards. And then they come to the door and says, right, Conroy, you better knock back. Wouldn't you take us off the last 2 weeks?
Horrible, aren't they?
There's another thing that happened. Yeah, I know I wouldn't apply for parole. But when I was lying in the block, the last 6 months I was in the block, 6.5 months. Tommy,
Why? Just
no, they took us doing for. I always planned when I was in jail throughout the whole sentence. I tell everyone, when I get to the end of this sentence, I'm going to do that block for 12 months to sort my head out before I get released.
Yeah.
So as I was coming up to the last 12 months, I was with Massey, Bullock, Ian McIntyre. They went, listen, Paddy, man, just leave it the last 6 months. I'm 21 stone. I want to get some weight off too.
Yeah.
I was like that, man.
Oh, it's easy to blow up in those sort of places, isn't it?
The first thing I done was went vegetarian and vegan when I went down the block. That was a plan to get some weight. I got 3 stone off, 6.5 months. I was 18 stone, 18.5 stone when I got out.
And what was Massey like then? Was that the first time you'd met him in jail?
I'd met Massey in Strangeways when I was in Strangeways.
Nice fella?
He's alright, alright.
Actually, rest in peace to Massey again.
That way, I wasn't, he wasn't...
Did you develop a friendship with him?
Sort of, aye. Well, sort of, aye.
Yeah.
When we were on Strangeways, we used to play Scrabble every night. The fucking, he bad temper cunt. The whole table used to go up in the air, in front of everybody, regularly.
Bad loser.
When I was terrible loser. I used to take all his chocolate off him.
And that's why you're 21 stone?
Probably.
Yeah.
No, we're 21 stone because we were fucking had access to the Screws canteen food. Like all the time on Long Norton.
Yeah.
We were living with the Screws canteen, we were.
Nice, taking advantage of that then. So obviously after 6 months then and after 8 years, 6 months in the block and after 8 years eventually you've been released then from that sentence.
Aye.
So talk to me about coming back, that's a long way.
So I was saying the last 6 months,
Yeah.
the 6.5 months to go, the Screws just come to my door one morning. I'd refused to do a course, and I knew you didn't have to do this course where you couldn't be punished, and they had to get in the wrong, and they just bent us up and took us down the block as if I was being disobedient for refusing to take participate in one of these, do you know what I mean, these courses that they make you do, role play things and all that shit.
Yeah.
And they bent us up, took us down the block, and then after a week they come and said, apologised, said, fucking hell, Conroy, you read, we couldn't make you do it. Well, I knew, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just told them just to leave us there. So I just stayed the last 6 months on the block.
Yeah.
I had like Bob Mosley right next door to us, underneath us. Tommy Adams, the Cockney, next door to us for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
They were there when the governor come. John Mack was right next door to us. And this is what happened. I didn't apply for parole and out, but it was in the newspapers because of prison overcrowding. Front page of the newspapers telling all governors, release all prisoners with less than 30 days to do. Do you know what I mean? Release all of them. That's on the front page of the news.
Jesus.
Now I've got 3 weeks left. Do you know what I mean? Less than 30 days.
Yeah.
So I'd been asking for fuck all. So John Mack, who was lying in the next cell to us, said, Paddy, you read the paper? I went, I have. Said, that's the fucking governor for your fucking days back when he come down this morning. Because I've already finished my prison sentence, I'm just staying days for
Extra.
For the joint, you know what I mean? And they're telling them, release them. Release everybody. Well, less than 30 days, so I pulls the governor. First fucking thing I asked them for. I says, is there any chance I'm getting released on this new thing that's in the papers today, Governor? And he looked at me card. He says, why, you still can't hear Conroy? I said, I don't know, you tell me. He says, I'll get back to you. So the next day the Governor come, then all these are listening, Bob Mosley, Tommy Adams, John Mark talking is entertaining it.
Yeah.
So Governor comes back the next day. I says, I jumps off my bunk. I went, well then. He says, Paddy Conroy. Didn't know what it was the day before. Paddy Conroy, bad boy from the streets of the West End of Newcastle, who I'm not letting out, who we're not letting out the day before we have to. Sorry. Shut the door. So I'm just telling you, fucking. That's what I got out of them.
Yeah.
When they're telling them, releasing them all.
Yeah. Even then.
Even then,
So you did the final 3 weeks and then got out.
Kept us on the book and wouldn't give us a day back.
And so you ended up getting released. When was this? What date was this? Around like 2003 or something like this? Would it be?
2002.
2002. And so talk to me about when you got out then, what your plans were. Was it all to go straight then after such a big stretch away?
Not really.
And so
because you sort of, when you have to have been in that sort of kind of environment for a long time, you're sort of criminally institutionalised, I find. Anyway. That's everybody. You know, you might get shaken off when you get out. But I find it does things out of you, you know what I mean? So it wasn't my plans. To be honest, at that point, my plans was just to come out and feel me way out. But anyway,
And hadn't some of your enemies become quite powerful in the time you'd been away? That's what obviously.
And some of my enemies become what?
Quite powerful in the time that you'd been away in those eight years or so. That's what.
No, because they were in fucking jail with us, weren't they? I'm fighting with the cunts inside.
But where there's quite a lot of them was. Different brothers or such was there.
There's more of us than there's of them.
Okay.
10 times more of us.
Yeah.
That way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So didn't you get attacked shortly after coming out of jail?
Off them?
Yeah.
Well, I had a fight with the oldest one in the town centre over blaming me for killing Freddie and Viv at the trial because I was sat there listening and the cops have come to court to help them give evidence. So I've had a fight with him. It's on video, the fight. I want somebody to apply for the video and the interview. The interview for that fight.
Yeah.
As it happens, if you want to date, I'll sign papers giving you permission to get it.
Surely they've got to give it up with the freedom of.
Oh, of course, I haven't got. I'm not like fucking. No, I'm not in any of that shit. You know what I mean? I need people to date all for us.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
I know.
I find anyway.
Yeah, so you've obviously had a fight with the oldest one, but then you've ended up being jumped by a load of them, didn't you?
After I've getting them doing, they've jumped us. I'm on top of them. It's on camera.
Yeah, and did you get hurt bad?
Got cut. Got cut throat.
So they must have stitched it up nicely because there's not that much.
You know what happened is he got it in. I was fucking knocked on the gun as he got it in. I just sort of grabbed his fucking hand as he got on top of us and I went like that as he was pulling it and it just sort of skimmed it. Do you know what I mean? Like it was a slash right across my face, but it was only that deep with me grabbing it at that point. Like butterfly stitches.
Yeah.
But you can hardly see it.
And so sort of any chance of the feud sort of ended at that point is over, and did it turn into again the tit for tat stuff going back and forth between?
Not really, because
obviously you were on licence at the time.
I was on licence for the next fucking few years.
And you obviously had McIntyre approach you during these times, did the documentary of him.
Yeah, but we got nicked for that fight, as I'm saying, and the cops come to the police station to represent them in the police station too. Do you know what I mean? So
you're saying your enemies were working with the cops, obviously?
Oh, fucking what? Fucking what? Just very murder squad cops of these very murder cases on these murders that they're blaming me for. So you tell me what's going on?
Yeah. And so what led you to obviously do the McIntyre documentary or agree to it? Obviously he's approached you, and then what was your thinking at that time there, obviously, where you were going?
It was just basically to try and get the police off me back as with the murder cases, with the murder accusations. It's the only reason I spoke to Donald McIntyre and other people just to let them know, listen, man, I haven't done this.
Yeah.
And I hope that it would stop harassment, which you never done, like.
Yeah. And
I don't talk to the cops, full stop. I'm not supposed to the cops in my fucking life in that manner.
yeah.
I'm the most old school person you could ever come across. Like I say, I didn't even apply for parole. When I was sentenced, I was fucking innocent.
Yeah.
Because of the fucking stupid fucking attitude of the probation officer. Showed us what they wanted, you know what I mean? At 44 keys.
Yeah.
I've not spoken to school in my entire life until the police joined their legal team. I know what I'm talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're the murder squad on these very cases that they're accusing me of committing. Fiv's murder, Kicker's murder, Freddie's murder. Well, not Freddie's murder, Fiv's and Kicker's murder.
And you know, this last time when you came out of jail for the 8.5, have you been back inside in the last 20 years, or you managed to you stayed out of jail for the last 20 years and sort of washed your hands of crime then, and obviously stayed?
Yeah, no, well, I got my straight head back on. When after that's what happened after the cops joined their legal team, and I seen what had went on, and who was who, and I've been wrongfully imprisoned 9 times, man, not twice.
It's crazy.
It is fucking crazy. I've proven by a lie detector test, top lie detector test, that the twice. Do you know how many man in the world that's been wrongfully convicted twice in one lifetime? Wrongfully convicted. Plenty of people have been wrongfully convicted once. Spent longer in jail than me once.
Yeah.
But anybody being so unfortunate where they've get out of jail and the same things happen again.
Terrible.
And I've proven that by top lie detector test.
Yeah.
And we have been sentenced to nearly 17 years in fucking jail for them 2 offences. But what I'm saying is, it's not fucking twice. It's 9 times.
And so why do you think these people have got the agenda of you, but they're trying to obviously life you off and put it in? Is because they're trying to take the focus off themselves, or is it because you're a threat to them still, or what?
No, I think it's just a case of they've started now. They've shifted the evidence onto me from day one.
Yeah.
And after the Friday night murder trial, we're all come under the spotlight for the murders, and instead of it just being me,
Yes.
I didn't even know it was another fucking spotlight for the murders. It's all come apparent.
Yes, you've
quite
had loads,
late,
of,
you know
loads
what I mean?
of operations on you.
Aye, man. But we're all under the spotlight now, and it's what's went on behind the scenes already that they've got to keep up. I don't know if they know it. I've talked to my lie detector tests. You know what I mean? They've got to keep what they've done up. They can't change their stories, can they?
Yeah, so it's obviously, so like I said, you've been out of crime for 20 years, or you got released from jail 20 years ago, but obviously since that point, the feud hasn't stopped with these, your
Well, the
enemies.
murders and whatnot.
But rather than you, any sort of violent tit for tat sort of allegations now, and on the sort of media platforms, all this sort of stuff, they're trying to put stuff onto you, obviously you allege.
I allege. Well, I've sat lie detector tests,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And so obviously these sort of rumours, when did you do the lie detector test?
About 8 years ago, I think.
Yeah, and so obviously it was them non-stop accusations over the years led to you thinking, I need to do this just to clear it up, because obviously, so people...
No, because you've got to look in to see what Operation Insight is.
Yeah.
There's an operation going on. It was created and started after the Friday night murder trial. It's called Operation Insight.
Okay.
And what the operation is to do with Lee Watson, the Supergrass, in that case, Friday night's murder.
Yeah.
Because Lee's not only accused to them of killing Freddie, because he killed Freddie for them. Do you know what I mean? He arranged it. He's went and put them in for a number of other murders too, such as Viv's, Kickers, and other stuff too. And these are murders that the behind the scenes in the police department, intelligence, where I've done them.
Yeah.
And Lee's caused chaos in the intelligence department. With dropping them in it for Freddie and all these other murders. And the new cops now, who's took over this case, my enemy's cops are all retired now.
Yeah.
They're the ones that's coming into the police station.
Yeah.
They're retired, the commanders and all, the ones that's gone to the courts, they're retired cops. They're not in the job now. These ones aren't, I'm talking to anyway.
Yeah.
So, Operation Insight is to establish who has committed the murders.
Yeah.
Is Lee's evidence right or wrong? That they have done them all? Or is it what they're saying? The enemy, because they're working with the cops. And what the cops are saying, and they're saying it's me.
Yeah.
So the Operation Insight is to establish who's telling the truth here.
Absolutely.
And I'm not talking to any cunt.
Yeah.
I'm not. So I've had fucking 10 years of living hell of Operation fucking Insight before the lie detector test.
Yeah. And
fucking years of hell to put us through.
Yeah, and obviously just fighting to clear your name, and obviously with such serious stuff hanging over you. And
I just done it to get them off me back because we're putting me family through living hell of police.
Yeah. And on top of that, your enemies, didn't they make accusations that you were working with the police and stuff like this, or?
Well, who do?
Sorry?
They've got dodgy paperwork saying it.
Yeah.
But that paperwork is paperwork that got knocked up when I was in prison to counter, you know, when we've had the battles gone, it's all snipe paperwork. That's why I want to go through the due diligence of that paperwork with those involved. That's Mr. Humphreys on the Atwood show.
Yeah.
And you'll find out every fucking bit of that paperwork is fucking it's a propaganda, bundle of propaganda.
So like you said, you've done the lie detector anyway years ago, and it's just been proven, obviously, these allegations are unfounded towards you anyway.
For the murders?
Yes. And so obviously over the last few years, you've ended up getting onto the YouTube platform and stuff like this over the last couple of years.
I've come onto the YouTube platform because what's happened is, you know, they called us a paedophile, didn't you? And got us branded as a paedophile. And I've got them put up a court over it. Since a court case, they've run a campaign.
And obviously we need to mention the court case. You obviously got found that there was nothing to do with paedophilia, and they've been arrested.
I'll show you the articles.
Yeah, no, so it's all good.
I've passed a lie detector test too, so I'm just saying
the viewers
for
know.
that too. So,
of course. So,
all the allegations against me are fucking wrong, man. I've took lie detector tests for all of them.
yeah.
I should have took one for armed robberies too, but I didn't realise at the time that the fucking headers for the robberies too.
So you sort of jumped on the YouTube platform in order to sort of fight back and let the world know, obviously, that you're...
No, what they've done is for the past 7 years they've put one witness after another on YouTube accusing me of serious offences. Past 7 years. And the last witness I put on was Davy Glover, where they're changing the evidence in Viv's murder and they're getting him to say that he got the murder details off me, that he confessed to the police. So that was the final straw, really.
Yeah.
And I had to come out and like start fucking defend myself when I'm starting to move evidence for the murder on the year. That means somebody on my side must have done that murder, because even though I've passed the lie detector test, where have I getting the murder details from?
Yeah.
Must be someone. Now, see Paul, whose flat this is. Paul's actually Glover's alibi witness for the Viv murder. So you know what I mean? So I muddies the water, man. But it's not true. He hasn't getting any murder details off me.
So it's been crazy. Then on top of that, during the last few years, obviously there was the Bernard O'Mahony thing where he did the thing as well with the Berryman, didn't he?
Aye, with his shite.
And so it was a few people making allegations. You thought it was only right you get on and sort of get your voice out there and let the world know that obviously...
Well, I've passed a lie detector test for that film company, but done that with Berryman.
Yeah.
That's why I complained. I've passed that lie detector test, proving that I haven't tortured anybody.
So weren't you close with Bernard at one point as well?
Not really.
Prior to that, no? You weren't best man at his
Well, I
thing,
was, but it never been close with a cunt.
Yeah. He was obviously trying to be close to you for convenience at the time, maybe too. So
He strikes everything doing if you mention him.
Yeah, well, might be careful with that then. So then obviously over the last couple of years you've got on to try and have your say on YouTube, obviously as everyone deserves to have. And obviously YouTube can be a bit of a messy world in itself, as you found out.
Fucking what?
It's crazy, it's worse than the underworld, isn't it? It's like...
I don't even like it.
I'm just saying, some of these characters on YouTube, tell me what they're like. It's a madness, isn't it?
I don't even like it. I've just had to come out and defend myself and try and put the fucking matter right. And that's what I'm doing. I'm putting the matter right. And what I'll be doing after I've put the matter right, I don't know.
Unearthing all sorts of
But what I'm going to establish very soon is, I've never been a police informer in my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
I've never been involved in any sort of child porn or paedophilia out. I've took lie detector tests, and I'm not guilty of all these murder accusations too.
Yeah.
That's the three things I'm doing. That's what I'm doing next.
Yeah.
The police informer matter, the paedophile matter, accusations, these all by me fucking enemies. Even the murders, and then the murders.
And obviously, when you, back a year ago I'm guessing, you originally were working with someone to obviously try and show the world, clear your name, all this sort of stuff, and you've ended up since falling out with that person that you were working with?
Who's that?
Is it DH?
Well, you've only met him once.
Well, you did
Done a pod with him, that was it. I was going to do other stuff with him.
Yeah, and there was Zooms and stuff like this, so it looked like there was a lot more than just the one time. There was obviously a lot of content got put up between you and him, didn't it?
No, I only met him once. Come here once, and that was the only time I met him.
And so, sort of, what happened there? Where was the fallout between you and him there, and how did that transcend into what's become today? Obviously, you don't have any contact with it at this point.
Me first real, not a fallout with him, I just didn't trust him. I suspected he was up to things with me, and I was right. Turned out to be fucking right. But then, while all that was going on, I come across proper evidence that the trolls, so-called trolls, were telling the fucking truth. Yeah. Where Dickie Hickey and his partner John had convinced me otherwise, you know what I mean? With dodgy DBS checks and all that. And then I come across proper fucking evidence, such as tapes. So I knew for sure then. Everything they'd been saying for years was right.
Mm. And so obviously you wash your hands of that situation, and you've been obviously trying to do your best to expose that since.
Well, it's just.
And got your own way for your own YouTube channel now, which you're doing well from.
Pardon, I don't know about that, like, but not from fucking him, I haven't. I'm getting that many subscribers since I fucking started with him.
But I think you're doing well on the YouTube, and obviously anyone, I encourage you to go over and listen to Paddy's YouTube, and the link will be below in the description. And so talk to me about, obviously you said your feud that's been going on with this rival crime family. Is there still danger of violence on you, or is it now just become a war of words on the internet back and forth instead these days?
I wouldn't know, to be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, what are your goals?
Well, what's really still going on now, it's just murder accusations. Do you know what I mean? Between me.
Yeah.
And they've got the police on their side. And that's the problem. And the accusations are still ongoing. The murder cases never close. Like I said, quite recently, they've put David Glover on fucking YouTube, moving evidence on Viv's murder onto us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is still going on. And you've got to battle it. You can't fucking... Not when it's murders, yeah. But it's multiple murders. It's not just Viv's murder. It's multiple murders involved here.
And so you're looking to obviously dig into all these on your YouTube
I've just come with a sorted out.
In the future, yeah.
Just get it sorted out.
And so obviously we look forward to seeing.
And at the same time, point out, I've passed my lie detector tests. What for? I'm the only man in the world who's been wrongfully convicted and jailed twice.
Yeah.
But it's not twice, it's 9 times, which I will go on to prove in the future. And that's, I've had a life of hell, really. I'm the victim, yeah. I've had a life of hell because of all this false intelligence on the murders, even back then, when these murders happened. Because that's obviously why I've been getting jailed and fucking jailed. Because of the fucking murders. No one will admit that. But obviously that's been a reason.
Yeah. Well, thankfully you've been out a while. Hopefully pray you never go back to jail. And so, like I said, what does the future hold for you? Is there going to be books and films or anything like this on you? Documentaries?
Fuck that. I've got no plans for any books or films at the minute. But there's people asking us to do them, but I've got no plans. I need these matters sorted out first, and then I'll see where I'm at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, indeed. And so going back quickly to who you're working with before, the DH, obviously he had a fight recently with Danny Christie. What did you think of that fight? Obviously it got a lot of attention.
I think fucking Danny Christie punched the face off him. You know what I mean? Especially I think Danny was lucky just with being 5 stone heavier. I was worried about Danny going into the fight. And this weight difference, I thought they're going to take a liberty here. And this is because Danny's saying what he's saying, and they're going to beat him up and tell him to shut up. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
So I thought, I'm going to mash that cunt's head before this fight. Dickie Hickey. That's when I put up my first video, wasn't it? Yeah. That morning. Just to mash his head on the way to that fight. I deliberately done it to give Danny a chance. Do you know what I mean?
And so obviously DH ended up falling out with the people who took him to that fight as well.
He was texting people on the way there, man.
Falling out with
they seen the text messages.
I haven't known, fallen out with Dean and all those lots since then.
Yeah, but when he was on the way to the fight, he was texting Rhonda, worried that Dean and them were going to take him away. And he wasn't, you know what the door meant?
Yeah.
So I'm just pointing out. So what was going through his head there? And he was telling Rhonda, if I don't text you every half hour, ring the police. Dean and such has took us away. Paranoia on him. So I tell you what was going on there. He's fucking doing jobs on them as well as fucking me. And he was worried in case they'd rumbled him and he was getting took away in the back of the vehicle instead of the fight with Danny. That's what was going through his fucking head. His guilty conscience.
Because obviously there's lots of serious allegations being made against
listen, but listen, see the crime squad in this country, they love a good nonce to work as a grass. Because they can get them on to do more things than they can get normal people to fucking do. And can you imagine, you know what the law's like for trying to recruit people? Yeah. Can you imagine, we've seen how many times he's been locked up for serious sexual offences. You think for 1 minute they've never had him fucking signed up and he's like, yes, I'll help you. Well, listen, you're going to have to stop raping people though. Listen, I'll help you. And listen, he's the biggest fucking grasswalk in that cunt. I'm fucking telling you, they've been working him. And that was his paranoia taking over him when he was texting Rhonda on the way to the fight, thinking that them boys were going to take him away. That's because of what he'd been doing behind them boys, back on them boys. His guilty conscience. Couldn't have been nothing else for my money.
Well, obviously the tables are turned now, and obviously Dean and DH are meant to be fighting, aren't they?
Well, I don't know. I just think Dickie Hickey and them's promoting a fucking big payday here for a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's what I think's going on.
Indeed. And so, so you said on your YouTube you're going to sort of clear up these murders and stuff like this. You mentioned before Sean Atwood. Did you want to go on his show at some point and like, sort of clear up this fake paperwork, or what did you
what
want to do?
I want is
a Zoom call where you can go through it?
No, what I want is I want someone to stand in the middle of me and do this for me. Because what he's done is he's allowed Humphreys to go on his show and call me a police informer. And he's allowed him to wave a bundle of paperwork around saying I've got evidence going back to 1993 that Paddy Conroy's been a police informer on his show.
So weren't you and Humphreys close at one point as well? Or?
Never been close.
No.
So, and what I'm saying is, him and this is why I've been blamed for these murders, man. Because there's nobody more old school than me. That's why they blame me. If you know what's went on here.
But obviously at this point now, the police can't be taking them seriously at this point, can they?
Taking who seriously?
These lot who are making the allegations about you and all this, obviously I know that they said previously they've had...
For the murders?
Yeah, Bent police, obviously you'd been...
Yeah, the problem is, I would think so. I think they know I haven't done them.
Yeah, and especially the lie detectors.
But the problem is, they're putting evidence my way as if I could have gotten it off. See, it's just my dad killed Viv. I could have gotten them details off my dad. Tell Glover to say this. Even though I've passed a lie detector test saying I haven't killed Viv. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I could still be my side who's killed Viv with these details. Well, because he's went and give details to the police when he confessed that only someone involved could have possibly known.
Crazy.
So then now, whoever looks at this case has got to go to Glover each and every time now, haven't they? Because he's give details only someone could have fucking known who killed Viv. And what they're trying to do is, the enemy know are trying to get them details put onto me and my family.
Yeah. So is Glover still in Newcastle? Is he in...
I think so.
Yeah.
He's off his fucking head to him, man. He's diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic and done all sorts of fucking injections and drugs, and you've seen him on that fucking podcast, you haven't you?
Yeah.
Left blind and full of fucking drink.
Indeed.
And he's saying I'll give evidence against him in court. He's seen I'll give the paperwork. We should doolally, man.
Crazy.
When you see the paperwork, you'll realise how doolally he is even making that statement. I've got a statement there where you asked Queen's evidence on us and everything, man. So how could I give evidence against him? But what was worst part of it was Mr. Humphreys knows this. Mr. Humphreys has got a copy of all this paperwork. Mr. Humphreys knows the case full stop. Mr. Humphreys knows he went Supergrass on me, and then he allowed him to go on that show saying what he said about me, and never said, oh well, that's not right because I've got the paperwork myself because I got it off Paddy when we done the Cray documentary. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
He's never tried to stop him, and he's never tried to stop Glover when he's when he's accused of being a nonce.
So would you say is Humphreys a puppet for your enemies then? Is he just a voice piece for them?
He's in with the enemies, and he's a mason. He's in with the crown. You can't see Humphreys. You can't see the wood for the trees.
Yeah.
I can, but other people can't.
Of course.
He's a Freemason who's part of the Winter Hill Gang.
Well, that.
Can't see the wood for the trees.
Yeah,
I can't.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It's been some journey up until this point, Paddy. It's been absolutely insane. Is there anything else? I feel like we've sort of roughly covered everything today. And then
well, my plans is get him back on that fucking show. This is my plans. Get him back on that show with the same bundle of paperwork.
Have you got access to this paperwork, this fake paperwork?
Do I need to have access? I've seen it years ago.
Yeah.
Listen, I know for sure. Look at this. I know for sure I've never been a police informer.
Yeah.
Ever. So how can he have paperwork saying I am? If he has got paperwork saying I am, there's something not readable in there.
Of course.
It's got to be in there. If I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, of course.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Look, we're going to get on here and go through this fucking paperwork. And you'll see, find it's all fucking shite. The whole fucking lot of it. It's a bundle of paperwork that they created themselves is a propaganda thing against me in prison. That's when it started. It's the same paperwork.
So if I was to ever interview Humphreys, what questions would you like me to ask him?
If yeah, I would like to know. I would sit down and give you a fucking million questions to ask him if I knew for sure you were going to do it.
Well, maybe obviously that I could reach out to him and you could prepare a load of questions and then we could do this, you know? And
well, we'd have to spend a couple of hours and go through stuff and go through evidence, and I want him fucking nailed for what he's done to me and my family. And I've got the case to do it. The only problem I've got with Humphreys is he's trying to open up one criminal case after another against me. So I need somebody in between me because of that legal reason.
yeah.
But the only thing I want done is, see this paperwork, I don't want any criminal cases going into what's connected to this paperwork. I just want the due diligence done on anyone who's seen anything wrong about me.
Absolutely.
If they've got the credentials to see it.
Yeah.
And they haven't. When you'll find that out when we're going through the due diligence of it. It's all fucking shite, he knows it's fucking shite. But if you're going to do it, I'd have to explain to you what else he's fucking done. He's done loads of things to us.
Like I said, we can have a lot of talking in between. It's not something that's...
Yeah, we'll have to, right.
And then, yeah, then we can...
But if we can get him on that show and go through the due diligence and the paperwork.
Give him a chance.
And then I'm going to deal with the paedophile matter with him.
Yeah, you can have the right questions asked, and then maybe down the line at some point you might be able to have a Zoom going back and forth, or you could do it in between with someone else asking questions, we don't know.
I didn't need any Zoom with that horrible cunt.
Yeah.
I didn't. Why do I need one?
So just, you want some questions answered?
No, I want someone to go through the due diligence of that paperwork with him.
Okay.
To find out if I'm a grass or not. You can do that, can you?
Absolutely.
Properly, where you can establish one way or other.
Of course.
He either is or he fucking isn't.
Well, I could reach
So,
out
you know,
to him. If
he
he wanted to prove these things, we could get the said paperwork and we could give it to a legal team or someone to then dig into it and find out if...
No, I want to go through it with him.
Yeah.
Because he's done it.
Okay.
And he knows it's snidey paperwork, because some of the people that he's using are members of his gang, man. The Winter Hill Gang have wrote some of this. Writing letters to MPs. What authority are they going to call me a fucking grass if it's just part members of their gang? Just because they've taken the letter and made it look official. And they'll send letters to MPs. You know what I mean? That's what's going on, yeah, man. So we need a due diligence done on any paperwork he's relying on that pertains I've ever been a police informer. Because I'm telling you, once I'm putting it that way, because I know he's going to have to go, oh, well, that's no good, that's no good. And when he turns up in a show up, which his bundle will be doing whatever, and when we're going through whatever, you'll find that's a load of shite as well.
Well, yeah, I can speak to Sean, obviously. I've got a relationship with Sean, so I can ask Sean the questions and see if it can be cleared up in the same way, or at least it can be dug into, you know?
Well, I'm not happy with Sean. I want Sean prosecuted too over this matter, because this is a fucking problem. Mr. Humphreys.
So it's obviously a serious case of defamation you're alleging, aren't you?
No, that's what I mean by prosecuted. I want to have a go at that cunt and all.
A serious case.
No, I won't show that Woodman. What Humphreys was doing to us, messages and messages, he wouldn't fucking respond to us. Him and Wildman. And I warned him, because he was doing with Facebook posts on Sean Atwood's podcast, cutting out of the Facebook posts, spreading a smear campaign against me being a nonce. Listen, that's what he was using it for, to back up his smear campaign. So I got on to Sean Atwood, and he knows what he was already doing to me before this latest incident. So you'd think, how can he make the same mistake twice? Do you know what I mean? And allow it to happen again?
Yeah.
Without even checking it yourself? Yeah, he's sure about this. because he's already complained, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want them. I'm not sure. We're going through it with him properly and proper due diligence. If you got anything that's reliable, it's in an arm of fucking grass or a copper, get it on the show, and we'll get it. Put it in the hands of legal people if we've got to. But the job is get the show to contact whoever the people are.
Yes,
we'll deal with it when we come to it.
Yep.
There's no couldn't got any paperwork saying I'm a fucking copper.
Yep.
That's for sure. Need nothing real. That's for fucking sure.
So like I said, nothing to hide, and you'd even more looking to clean
Not in that fucking department, I haven't.
Looking to clean your name up over the next couple of years, yeah, indeed.
So I want that cleared up first, and I want it done that way publicly, where the due diligence is done, so that paperwork can never be used again.
Obviously, you want it. Obviously,
No, man, the people use that paperwork for 20 fucking years, man.
You were slandered publicly, so you want it cleared publicly.
Publicly in the same fucking place where they've done it. So the same subscribers who think I'm a grass for watching that podcast show,
yeah,
say that hey, he was not a grass, he was telling fucking lies.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Well, that's only right.
And then I'm going to deal with Humphreys with the paedophile matter. I'll get into that, talk to you that off camera.
Yeah. Well, like I said, anything I could do to help and sort of reach out and being in between these people,
and then I'm
more than happy.
And then I'm going to solve the biggest murder case in the history of the UK. I'm going to spoken with that, you know.
Yeah. And so, guys, you need to get over to Paddy's channel. Like I said.
No, but what's happened is recently I've went and found the graveyard of one of the victims that they're blaming me for killing.
Yeah, no,
so that's a fucking problem at the minute. I've found the graveyard, man. How can that happen?
You need to be careful.
I'm telling you, it's too late, it's happened.
Yeah. But is there anything else you sort of want to cover today?
Right, I've got to be careful.
Well, it's just all dangerous ground, isn't it?
It is, aye, that way, aye.
Excuse the pun.
Aye, no, you read. Especially when it's the biggest murder case ever.
Yeah, people are going to be getting scared. So, like I say, I'd like to say a massive thank you for the opportunity today. Like I said, hopefully we can do lots more stuff down the line, and obviously anything I can do to help you out.
Listen, if you want to help us, that's my plan. That's what I need done. I need them, that paperwork.
Like I say, I'm impartial. All I want is justice for whoever's been wronged, you know, and so I can sort of reach out to these characters. Like I said, I've got a relationship with Sean, and I can certainly speak to him, and then maybe I can reach out to Humphreys, and we can try and put a load of these.
Try it, you can with Humphreys, but you'll avoid it. But you can try, and then I'm going to have him over the paedophile matter properly, because he's been real since he found out it was all lies. The court case, he's since still run a smear campaign. I've put an article out yesterday what he was involved in writing concerning. Did you read it? The Vice one.
Yeah.
So he knew at that date, 2016. He knew at that date. Postularity so he knew what it was all about, right? So he definitely knew at that date. And if you check the dates, for the things he's done since then, promoted different people calling me a nonce over some rumour he started, and he knows he fucking started. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, the worst sort of defamation.
He shouldn't have been promoting all these people calling me a nonce, man.
Yeah.
He's done it deliberately.
Yeah, it was obviously a horrific allegation.
And I want him to help him good for loads of things what he's done, just to show how guilty he fucking is, really, nothing else, just to show everyone how guilty he fucking is. He's not really a good man at all.
Because he's quite a prominent man within his community, isn't he?
It's been a problem with the Geordie, old school Geordie community for your fucking decades. He's a
So he's a law-abiding citizen as well. He's never been in any trouble, never been a criminal. So
he's run about the Winter Hill gang all his life, and he's been on the doors. But I wouldn't say he's a law-abiding citizen by any means. I wouldn't. What things are, I wouldn't.
Yes, indeed.
He's always he's just like the rest of them.
Yeah, no good. Well, like I said,
he admits in his book he admits when he was younger he was into recreational drugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, nothing wrong with smoking the odd.
No, well, he doesn't fucking smoke. They're not talking about fucking smoke, they're not.
No. But, alright, well, like I said, hopefully you find your justice, and anything I can do to help you, I will, and obviously...
Well, if you do that, that'll be great.
You're fighting the battle well on YouTube and your own platform as well, and I heavily recommend anyone goes over to your platform, obviously. You've become a natural in front of the camera these days, haven't you? And you're...
I didn't know about that, but the fucking natural.
So yeah,
Listen,
like,
all I'm trying to do is sort this matter out.
understandably, innit? Who wouldn't want to, you know?
But I need the police informer. See, I treat that police informer slow, like the paedophile fucking slow. Because if I'm telling the truth about my background, you can see which way I've led my fucking life. And let's tell you, I treat that as bad as the fucking paedophile fucking accusation, or the way I've led my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I need them two matters cleared up, and then I'm going to solve the murder cases that they're blaming me for, because I know I can.
Yeah.
But before I can, I need to solve these matters.
Jesus. Well, like I said, I wish you the best of luck, and thank you very much for the opportunity. It's been great meeting you, and hopefully be a start of a decent relationship, and obviously we're going to do lots more in the future. And
There you are. Well done,
so
mate.
thank you very much, guys. I know you would have loved this one, and please stay tuned for some more coming up in the future, and support Paddy as well. So thank you very much, guys. Cheers.